Hi, and welcome back to my vlog. I am so excited to jump in, but before we do, a little bit of an update. I have decided to name my channel Tending Lambs, and you can also find me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram under the same name. When I was really little, my great-grandmother used to call me Little Lamb, so I felt a really personal connection to incorporating that word lamb or the concept into the vlog. Also in John 21:15, when Jesus and Peter are interacting, the NASB has it translated that Jesus says to Peter, "Tend my lambs." And I really thought that that was a beautiful translation and really poetic and fit with exactly what I would like to convey through my vlog. So yeah, you can find me again on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Instagram under the name Tending Lambs. Okay, so continuing on from my last video, what is peaceful parenting? What is it? A little more in depth than the previous video. Well, the TLDR version is that peaceful parenting is parenting without punishments and without any kind of coercion at all, including bribes or threats. But how this plays out in reality takes a little bit more explaining. Immediately when I start this conversation with people, I hear questions popping up. Questions like, how do you get your kids to obey then? And how will they ever learn that their actions have consequences? And do your kids just never hear the word no? The problem with these questions is that they tend to focus exclusively on behavior modification, not on protecting and loving and teaching. At their foundation is almost always the same assumption or question. How do I get my kids to do what I tell them to do? While some people do have very noble reasons for wanting their children to obey immediately and without questioning, I don't assume all punitive parenters don't care about protecting and training. Their method of using force undermines their goals and creates the wrong incentives. You won't often hear an experienced gentle parenter saying something like, because I said so, or making them obey. And that's because the method of gentle parenting, the approach of gentle parenting, is one of negotiation, of firm boundaries, and of respect for the child, their feelings, and their opinions. When I get to this part of the conversation, I can inevitably predict that my conversation partner is going to start firing back at me as soon as I say the word negotiation. It also comes up when I talk about respecting children. Objections often end up sounding like, I don't negotiate with terrorists, or I don't have to respect my child, they have to respect me. I'm the adult, they're the kid. Well, I'm here to tell you that your relationship with your children does not have to be a fight. Your kids are not little terrorists, and we should all be respecting each other. As I mentioned in my previous video, your children are image bearers of God, just like you. They're sinners, just like you, and they need help to learn their place in this world, just like you. It's at this point that some people part ways with me, not in my desire to respect children, but in the idea that spankings are unnecessary or disrespectful. They believe that they can respect their children and still use spanking and other punitive measures as tools in their parenting. I like to point out that we don't use force or manipulation against anyone that we have respect for. Wives, take a moment and imagine if your husband used the arguments that some people use for spanking their children against you. Or if your boss or your pastor or anyone in a position of authority over you told you to go get the spanking spoon, and they bent you over their knee and they spanked you to the point of crying. In your bones, you would know you're not being respected. Now imagine they tried to tell you that they respected you. Yeah, not to mention if they spanked you in front of other people or took your property or isolated you on a small chair for a time, you may in your mind be saying, but it's different. They're kids. They don't know what they want. They don't know what's good for them. A spanking to make them do what's right every now and then isn't hurting anybody. It's actually making things better. Sometimes a little coercion or a little bribe here or there, it gets the results you want, right? But no. The way you treat children may differ from the way you treat adults. Just like the way you treat me is different from the way you would treat your sister or anyone else in your life. But it doesn't change fundamentally from image bearer to image bearer with rights of their own. This is the foundation of peaceful parenting thought and what I hope to help many more people understand. Now, if you're like most people that I've talked to and you're asking yourself and me through the camera, well, what do you do then? You should stick around for future videos. As we continue, I will be giving plenty of real-world examples and addressing common objections. So, until next time.